So I cleared your doubts, eh? I cleared your doubts. I know how people think. They heard the soundtrack and they were thinking, no, he's got some battle liners. So that was why he did the a cappella and you heard his voice. Thank you, Kadisit, for that. If you didn't get goosebumps listening to those words, if you didn't get goosebumps seeing those images, I am sure you will get goosebumps when you get to hear the First Lady herself speak to you this afternoon, from announcing that girls will be a major focus, to getting the Hands of Our Girls campaign launched, to setting up a court that would fast-track cases that has to do with sexual and gender-based violence, to taking period poverty message to over 20,000 girls in Sierra Leone. It's not a Nancy story. I was there. I traveled to regions, to districts, and girls were appreciative of that. And to finally take that one very important bill to Parliament to say that we are ending every thought, every plan, and every intention to take a girl that hasn't reached the age to get married into a house or home to become a wife. That's very, very significant, and that's very important. One more time, please put your hands together for the first. And letting the people know that this is not just the First Lady's business. It is her business, but it is also my business as much as it is the business of the office of the First Lady. We're moving on, ladies and gentlemen. It is now my distinguished honor to invite a representative from the First Lady of Liberia, who is unavoidably not here today, but she is represented ably by Honorable Mrs. Musu Sobo, who would be making a statement, as well Massa Sobo, who will be making a statement this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Honorable Mrs. Massa Sobo from Liberia.
Good morning. Good afternoon. I'm tempted for us to give another round of applause for our First Lady. His Excellency, retired Brigadier Dr. Julius Malabio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency First Lady Dr. Fatima Malabio, our esteemed First Ladies from across Africa, our representatives of First Ladies, Secretary General of OFLA, government officials, global partners, private sector, members of the Fourth Estate, resilient citizens of Sierra Leone, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with a profound sense of honor and an unyielding commitment of our shared values that I address this distinguished gathering today on behalf of Her Excellency Katumu Wabuakai, First Lady of the Republic of Liberia. I bring greetings from her and the people of Liberia, a nation bonded to Sierra Leone not only by geography but by a deep and enduring kinship that has guided our shared histories and aspirations. Today, I have the privilege of making representation as special envoy of Her Excellency First Lady Katumu Wabuakai, who regrettably could not be with us due to pressing national commitments that require her immediate and undivided attention back home. However, she has sent me along with her Chief of Office Staff, Honorable Sir Charles Ento, and other dedicated members of her office to represent her spirit and commitment. While new in her role, having served only 6 months, she has expressed an earnest desire to visit Sierra Leone in the very near future to solidify the bonds that tie our lands and peoples together. We are here to celebrate the monumental strides taken by Sierra Leone under the visionary leadership of Her Excellency, First Lady Dr. Fatmata and His Excellency, retired Brigadier General President Dr. Julius Madabio. The Hands Off Our Girls Foundation and the hashtag We Are Equal campaign are not merely initiatives. They are initiatives of hope and bastions of change, representing a vigorous fight against gender-based violence and an unyielding dedication to gender equity. The remarkable achievements of Sierra Leone in these areas are commendable. You have shown the world that with resolve and leadership, change is not only possible, but inevitable. It is fitting then to recall the words of the great African leader, our former president, Mother Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and I quote, "If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough," end quote. Today, as we witness the fruits of bold dreams in Sierra Leone, we are inspired to dream even bigger and aim even higher. Our region, our continent, and indeed the world look towards such pioneering spirits for inspiration. The Hands Off Our Girls campaign's success and the transformative power of the hashtag We Are Equal campaign remind us of our duties toward each other, to uplift, to support, and to empower. In a spirit of regional cooperation and shared goals, Liberia applauds the milestones achieved here and sees in them a template and a touch. It is this touch that Liberia wishes to carry alongside Sierra Leone as we work to forge a future where our daughters, our mothers, and sisters can live without fear, where their potentials are unhindered, and where their voices are heard loud and clear. In unity there is strength. This is truth known to all Africans, from the shores of the Atlantic to the peaks of Kilimanjaro. Wangari Maathai, another great daughter of Africa, once said, and I quote, "The higher you go, the heavier things become. But at the top, the views are spectacular," end quote. Together, may we climb these great heights, bearing the weight of our collective challenges, until we too can see the spectacular horizon of a just, equitable, and prosperous Africa. Thank you, Sierra Leone, for leading with courage and with heart. Thank you for not only hosting this momentous event, but for setting a standard and lighting the path forward. Liberia is with you as a partner, as a friend, and as a neighbor. Together we will continue to strive, to achieve, and to inspire, bonded by our common heritage and united in a common cause. May God bless our countries, may God bless our region, and may God bless our continent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's the representative from Liberia. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, I was told not to attempt to pronounce the rest of her names, but I want to go, having been friends with a lot of Nigerians, and I'm also being called Oga John in some quarters. I would like to attempt to pronounce the name of our next speaker. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Minister of Women Affairs, Nigeria. Her name is Her Excellency Barrister Uju Kennedy Ohaneye.
come today, let me reserve what I want to say today. But let me first read the address of my First Lady, whom I'm representing here today. Thank you, everyone. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency, the First Lady of Sierra Leone, Excellencies, First Ladies present and represented, Members of Parliament, Members of Diplomatic Corps, Ministers and Head of Agencies, Executive Secretaries, Organizations, African First Ladies, Civil Societies Organization, the media, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to be invited to be part of today's launch. First, I would like to thank my dear sister, the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency Dr. Fatmata, for gracing the high-level regional seminar of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation event, which I hosted in Nigeria on the 15th to 16th of May 2024. I express my gratitude to you for your support. I bring you warm greetings from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, President Bola Tinubu, GFR, and the good people of Nigeria. The launch of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, We Are Equal campaign in Sierra Leone unites us in our determination to protect our girls and ensure they grow up in a world that honors their rights and potentials. I applaud Your Excellency's commitment to promoting the cause that unites us all, gender equity and the fight against sexual and gender-based violence in Sierra Leone, particularly the significant passing of 2 United Nations resolutions on justice for rape victims and on healing for victims of child sexual exploitation and violence is highly commendable. The launch of Sierra Leone's Hands Off Our Girls, that is, Leave Our Girls Alone, campaign, resonates deeply with the challenges and aspirations we all face across the continent. Therefore, I congratulate Her Excellency, Dr. Fatmata and the people of Sierra Leone on this crucial step and the remarkable journey of the last 5 years. This initiative has no doubt helped in creating a safer environment and greater opportunities for women and girls to lead healthier and better lives. I must say that the issues of child marriage, teenage pregnancy, child trafficking, and violence against women are pressing realities that affect millions of girls and women across our continent. These issues are barriers to our overall development, progress, and peace. Therefore, we must stand united to end this scourge. It is worthy of note that We Are Equal campaign was launched in Nigeria on the 13th of May, 2024. To promote this campaign, we reintroduced socialized schools called Alternative High School for Girls to reintegrate girls and women who have dropped out of school due to early pregnancies, child marriage, and other socioeconomic reasons to enable them acquire formal education. These schools are equipped with crèche facilities, ICT, and vocational centers with highly qualified academic and non-academic staff. The initiative is about giving these young women another chance, a path to reclaiming their lives and hope for the future. In our communities, we must continuously re-educate our sons and daughters about respect, honor, and equity, empowering them to speak up and never remain silent when their rights are being violated. We must all continue to play our part in advancing gender equality in order to ensure that every girl child in Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and across Africa can grow up in a world where she feels safe and valued. Once again, I thank my dear sister, Her Excellency Dr. Fatima Mahadabiu, for this invitation and look forward to greater impact of the Hands Off Our Girls Foundation and We Are Equal campaign in Sierra Leone. We firmly declare that we are equal and we always have been. God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone. God bless the continent of Africa. Her Excellency, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, everyone. Now, Africans, Sierra Leoneans, usually this of our girls, leave our girls alone, early marriages, it usually happens in poor homes. Have you ever seen a rich man that gave out her child underaged? Never. Now you ask a question. The First Lady has it all. She's comfortable. There's no way she could have given out her child at early stage, which causes a lot of problems for little children. But still, she left her comfort zone to fight for the rights of those poor people who has nobody to speak for them. Let us stand up and clap for this woman. She's a superhero. I stand here to say this because I know what I feel. And I know what happens to the poor people. They have no voice, they have nobody to speak for them. But she left her comfort zone and she stood firmly to fight for those voiceless people. You can never beat that. Thank you, my people. Please sit down. Thank you. I only stand here to thank His Excellency. He's a he for she. If he had not allowed her, yes, if he had not allowed her, would she have done that? Let us clap for him. He is the pillar behind this achievement. He is the pillar. You know, when I see strong women, I feel excited to the point that I feel like breakdancing. Yes, this is Africa. It's a great nation. We've been taken advantage of, we've been enslaved. And we still sit down and to continue allowing anyone to enslave us. Is it possible? Not with the kind of first ladies we have nowadays and the kind of presidents we have. It can't continue. I will tell you something. We sit down and we say, change mindsets. I hate to hear that. Because most of the things you people call mindset is mischief. Yes. That man that goes to marry that small girl knows that it's defilement in the first place. He knew while he was going. No matter how poor or how non-educated you are, you know that there are certain things a small child, is a natural knowledge that a small child is not supposed to do. And you sit down, you bring up your own children, right? Then you go out there because the people are poor. You take their child, underage child, take her in. You're a pedophile. You're defiling that child, and you knew what you were doing. And I don't believe to come and change your mindset. That is being calling and shooting ourselves on the foot. Now, the First Lady has done her best. She has gotten the law, but does it end there? It doesn't end there. It is our turn to help her achieve her dreams, to touch the lives of the poor girls. It is our duty. How do we do that? That's your mindset. You're sitting down, waiting to be changed. By the time people like you are picked up 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 and jailed, your mindset will automatically reset. Yes, it will reset because you're just a mischievous man somewhere. Using mindset, religion, culture to do us, commit us kinds of sins. And because we keep thinking there is nothing we can do to them. It's a lie. There is something we can do to them. And the First Lady has proven it today. Standing firmly to get this law done, that is 80% of solving our issues. It now remains us. If some of them think they could go and hide, become a whistleblower, blow it. See something, say something. When we start exposing them, even corrupt politicians, they will leave Africa alone. Even corrupt foreigners that come here in the name of helping us, and they still corner our money according to authorities. When we start exposing them, when we expose you, let your organization overseas come out and tell us they sent you to come and carry most of our monies and tell us it's for consultancy. Who begged you? Now, who begged you? It's high time. It's high time we started thinking for ourselves. If we don't help ourselves, nobody helps you. They rather take advantage. I'm begging Africans. This big move today happening in Sierra Leone, I was happy when I was told you are going there to represent the First Lady. I said, my goodness, it's an opportunity to speak to my brothers and sisters and tell them that it is no more business as usual. In my country, Nigeria, if you're a donor from a few weeks ago onwards, and you corner our money for consultancies, I take you to court, I get an injunction, I stop you from taking a move further. And the president is standing firmly behind those ideas. Those are his ideas. We are just the machineries to carry out his ideas. If you are in a hotel and you lodge an underage child, the hotel will be closed down. We have our child rights. You don't allow a child anymore to work in Nigeria. We just brought it up a few weeks ago. So when this thing happened here, I had a similar issue a few weeks ago when 100 girls in Nigeria were to be married out. To whom? Nobody knew. They just said, oh, we married 100 girls out. I went to court, I got an injunction stopping it. I said, no way, you hold on, we have to check. Who made those choices? Did you check their genotypes? Did you check their HIV status? Did you check their hepatitis? Who made those choices? You can't continue bringing in children that will be suffering, innocent children that didn't beg you to bring them in, and you brought them in to suffer. I got an injunction. At the end of the day, we made peace. And we went in, we did the test, we did all the necessary things. We removed those that were not supposed to get married and made sure the right things are done. Now, with this law, each and every one of you have a responsibility to show back love to the First Lady who did this for all of us. When I mean all of us, because the same thing as you people are taking drastic action to make sure this law is implemented, automatically is affecting other parts of Africa. So this has been done for the whole of Africa. Not only you people. Others will tap from it. That is citing an example. Africans, see something, say something. Stop keeping quiet and people take advantage of you. Say enough is enough. Say that. Enough is enough. No more. If somebody is your ruler, he's there to serve you. Let us drop this issue of having complex over others. We are great people, very intelligent, very hardworking, firm. Let's utilize it. Let us say no more, no less. We have to sit up and protect our own. We say again, white people come here and they say this, they do that. Who negotiates with them? Somebody negotiates your loan. Somebody negotiates everything you do with the white people. What usually happens? They buy a few over. When a few are bought over, they sell you off. So if we have any issue, we are not looking at the white people probably who came in to see what they can do. We look at our own tribes who negotiated or who organized that particular thing, and that the ones we go after. We go after them. By the time we start calling them to order, they will now realize that it's no more business as usual. I love you all. I love Nigeria. I love Sierra Leone. I love Africa. My first lady, may God bless you. Give me you more strength to do more. We're expecting more. We are Oliver Twist. We need some more. Thank you, everyone. May God bless you.
Thank you, Barrister Kennedy. Thank you, Barrister Kennedy. See something. So now, today officially we are taking it by law, by prayer, and by advocacy. See something. Thank you very much. Up next will be a statement by the First Lady of the Republic of Cape Verde. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Ventura Catiza Carvalho to make a statement this afternoon.
I know that it's lunch time, so I promise to be quick. His Excellency President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency President of OFLAD, Honorable First Lady here presented and represented, Honorable Executive Secretary of OFLAD, Honorable Ministers, Diplomatic Corps, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, young people and children here present. It is with great honor and a deep commitment that I accepted the invitation of my dear sister and counterpart, the First Lady of Sierra Leone, to participate in the launch of the unifying campaign We Are All Equal of the Organization of the African First Ladies for Development, OFLAD, under the theme Abolish Child Marriage and Keep Them Learning. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, Monica, for unifying us. I want to express my gratitude for the invitation and for this opportunity to be among so many defenders of equality. Allow me to greet my dear sisters present here, Your Excellencies, the First Ladies and their delegation, as well as the guests present at the event held in this beautiful city of Freetown. And I would say blessed Freetown because I came in a raining day, and for those that know Cabo Verde, we don't have this blessed every day and every month of the year. So it's a blessed day for me, and a blessed day chosen by the First Lady, Fatima, for the launching of the campaign. And it was, I should say to you and confess to you, it was marvelous to sleep today with the sound of the rain. It's something unbelievable. So thank you for this beautiful city of Freetown. And I especially address my dear sister Fatima Bio, First Lady of Sierra Leone, with the words of appreciation and recognition for choosing the theme abolish child marriage and keep them learning. This theme highlights one of the most pressing issues facing many African countries and at the same time ensure the achievement of some of the SDGs targets. And I really have to say to you that this subject is really serious. Child marriage is a serious thing. And I will say to you some numbers for you to see how serious it is. If we continue to see things and don't say nothing, we probably, according to the United Nations, we will end 300 years not abolishing child marriage. 300 years if we don't take action. And in 2030, we will have less 110 million girls out of the schools and 340 million girls in extreme poverty. 30% of women in the developing countries are getting pregnant in their youth. So before they get 19 and 18 years. So this is motives that must call us to action. And the Sustainable Development Goals represent a global action plan to eliminate extreme poverty and hunger, provide lifelong quality education for all, protect the planet, and promote peaceful and inclusive societies by 2030. The SDGs also include objectives related to the protection of children and adolescents, early childhood education, and the reduction of inequality. As UNICEF says, and sustainable development won't happen if children don't have fair opportunities. The link between child marriage and education is fundamental because history has taught us that investing in education is crucial to achieving sustainable human development. Education helps us to resolve many of our country's weaknesses, promotes great social mobility, and improves the living conditions of many families, helping to build a fairer and more inclusive society. As long as we have a child marriage linked with the education issue, we still have the problem of earlier pregnancy, violence based on gender because they don't have education, they don't have economic and financial autonomy. And there's a lot of pressure regarding the family pressure for the girls to accept the marriage because sometimes it's a way to go out of the poverty. Child marriage deprives our girls of their childhood, interrupts their education, and prevents them from realizing their full potential. We need to ensure that all our children have access to quality education so they can build a promising future. In Cabo Verde, child marriage has been prohibited since '99. The Civil Code states that marriage can be contracted from the age of 18. However, young people aged 16 and over may marry with the consent of their parents or guardians. Marriage without this consent requires the approval of the family and minors court. Despite that, there are still cases of under 18 living maritally with older men. And that is to share with you that along and side by side with the change of the law, we must change the behavior, the way of thinking. The society must know that we must bring our girls to her fully potential. And despite that, there are still cases that girls living with older men, and data from 2010 census indicates that near 250 girls between the age of 12 and 14 are living in unmarried partnership, which constitutes the offense of sexual abuse of minors and requires urgent measures to protect these children. Several measures have already been taken, policies implemented, and action carried out by successive governments with regard to defense and protection of children. Cabo Verde ratified the Convention of the Right of the Child in '91, reformed the education system, strengthened legislation, and increased some penal framework for sexual abuse and violence against children and adolescents, as well as improving children policies and other social policies. The National Assembly approved the Statute of the Child and Adolescent in 2013, a regulatory instrument on children and adolescents that adopts the best interest of the child as a fundamental principle. In Cabo Verde, we have implemented various policies and programs to promote gender equality over the last 20 years. Our efforts have shown positive results, but there's still much to be done. We are committed to continuing this fight, ensuring that girls and women have the same opportunities to thrive. We don't want to be the same, but we want to be equal. As an example of the policies adopted by the government, represented by the Cape Verdean Institute of Gender Equality and Equity, we would highlight, among other interventions, the recent approval in 2021 of the National Gender Equality Plan 2021 until 2025, which aims to combat the stereotypes that prevent equal opportunities for women and all fronts. We fully realize that there is still a long way to go and that we have many obstacles to face. However, we are determined to move forward. Gender inequality remains a significant challenge in many African countries. Girls and women face barriers in health, education, economic opportunities, and freedom from violence. It is crucial that we work together to close these gaps and create fairer, more equal societies. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, despite some gains made, the status of woman still faces major challenges, particularly domestic violence in Cabo Verde. Although cases of domestic violence continue to persist in Cabo Verde, we must also take a preventive approach, working with the children of today to make them the men and women of tomorrow, with strong intervention at grassroots level through our education system. In this context, my dear sisters, I call on all of us to strengthen our role as advocates for the education to boys too, especially in the family environment. My addressing the education of our children within the home, we are molding not only individuals, but also the social fabric in which we live. A renewed commitment to strengthening family ties not only nurtures the next generation with essential values, but also lays the foundation for a resilient and progressive community. Collaboration between African First Lady is fundamental to the success of OFLA's We Are All Equal campaign. Together, we can dismantle the barriers that prevent the advancement of women and girls. Our unity is a powerful statement to what we can achieve when we work together towards a common goal. In closing, I would like to reaffirm our commitment to the cause of gender equality. I ask everyone present to join us in this cause, to support the We Are Equal campaign, and to work tirelessly to ensure that every girl and woman can live with dignity, respect, and equality. Thank you.
Thank you, Her Excellency, Deborah Katiza Kifadio. We are moving on as fast as possible. Now we're taking some more goodwill messages from 3 other first ladies. It will be Burundi, the Republic of Burundi, Ghana, and then followed by Mozambique. Their videos, so they'll be on screen. We're starting with the, yes. You don't have to tilt your, you don't have to, I think you'll be shown on screen in front of you. Thank you.
Excellence Madame la Première Dame de Sierra Leone, Excellence chères sœurs, Mesdames et Messieurs, distingués invités, premièrement, je remercie le bon Dieu qui nous a gardés jusqu'à cette journée spéciale du lancement de la Fondation Hands Off Our Girls et de la campagne Nous sommes égaux. Je remercie sincèrement ma consoeur, Son Excellence Fatmata de m'avoir invité et je la félicite chaleureusement pour le lancement de la Fondation Hands Off Our Girls, dont les aspirations touchent au cœur des défis de la jeune fille et de la femme. J'aurais voulu être en présentiel avec vous en ce grand jour, mais compte tenu de la coïncidence avec la célébration de la Journée nationale de l'indépendance de mon pays, le Burundi, je me joins à vous virtuellement, loin des yeux, mais près du cœur, en attendant mon arrivée à Freetown au 3e jour des activités. Excellences, chères sœurs, distingués invités, la campagne panafricaine Nous sommes égaux qui vise à diminuer les disparités entre hommes et femmes dans les domaines prioritaires tels que la santé, l'éducation, l'autonomisation économique des femmes et la lutte contre les violences basées sur le genre est une opportunité pour nous tous de faire avancer la cause partagée de la femme africaine. Même si des progrès significatifs ont été accomplis en rapport avec les droits et l'autonomisation des femmes et des filles, les disparités qui persistent nous appellent à poursuivre nos efforts et les renforcer afin de construire un avenir meilleur pour les jeunes filles et les femmes en Afrique. Nul n'ignore que la femme est le pilier des familles, son bien-être se répercute sur le développement de la société. C'est pour cela que lorsque des initiatives visant à promouvoir la bonne santé, l'éducation et l'autonomisation des filles et des femmes sont une priorité pour le gouvernement, l'impact se répercute sur la communauté. À titre illustratif, je citerai le cas de mon pays, le Burundi, où nous voyons l'impact considérable des initiatives en faveur des femmes amorcées par le gouvernement du Burundi sous le leadership éclairé de son Excellence Évariste Ndayishimiye, le président de la République du Burundi. Je citerai entre autres la gratuité de l'éducation pour le cycle fondamental, la gratuité des soins de santé pour les moins de 5 ans, les femmes enceintes et celles qui accouchent, des initiatives d'autonomisation des femmes telles que la mise en place d'une banque de femmes auxquelles s'ajoutent des initiatives ciblées pour traiter les fistures obstétricales et venir en aide aux couples infertiles initiés par la Fondation Bonne Action Mugiraneza que je dirige. Je me réjouis que le lancement de votre fondation Hands of Our Girls aspire aux mêmes objectifs que ma fondation, ce qui nous permettra sans doute de partager les expériences et les belles pratiques pour réussir ensemble notre combat commun, lequel nous menons également à travers votre campagne Nous sommes égaux. Excellences, chers sœurs, distingués invités, je m'en voudrais de terminer mon propos sans vous féliciter encore, chers sœurs, pour ce grand jour qui marque le début d'un chemin couronné de succès et porteur d'espoir pour de nombreuses femmes et de filles en Sierra Leone. En ce qui nous concerne, soyez rassurés que la contribution du Burundi est certaine pour bâtir ensemble l'édifice d'un futur où les femmes et les filles africaines s'épanouissent pleinement et contribuent au développement durable de notre continent. Et c'est dans cette optique que j'espère vous rejoindre bientôt. Vive la campagne, nous sommes égaux, je vous remercie.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, greetings from the President and people of Ghana. I am sorry that I could not join you in person, but rest assured I'm with you all in spirit. Your Excellency Fatima Madabiu, accept my congratulations on your launch of the OAFLAD We Are Equal Unifying campaign. I recall my visit to Sierra Leone in December 2018 with other sister African First Ladies at the launch of the Ending Child Marriage and Reducing Teenage Pregnancy to Empower in Sierra Leone program. This was a few years before the OAFLAD campaign was launched. Today, I can boldly say that Madam Madabiu's 2018 campaign aligns perfectly with the OAFLAD Unifying campaign. The fight for gender equality is an age-old one. Sadly, it is a fight that has not been won. Even though the global gender gap has been narrowing, we need a lot more urgency and action to make very significant impact. when women and girls, representing about half of our society, have equal access to health, education and skills, and are free from gender-based violence, they can contribute their quota to the development of our nation. Gender equality is crucial for the development of Africa. There is the need for total engagement of the skills, knowledge, and work of both men and women to drive the agenda for development and to alleviate the economic, social, and political problems we face as a continent. There are numerous programs and projects being implemented across the continent of Africa. Let us ensure gender is truly a cross-cutting theme that runs through our strategies and programs. Specifically, I encourage policymakers to activate and/or accelerate the implementation of existing gender-focused policies within ministries and agencies. Where there is a lapse in policy, we should take the required actions to bridge the gaps. Gender equality creates a fairer, just, developed Africa. The WAFLAD We Are Equal Unifying campaign is designed to garner intensified awareness, effective stakeholder engagement, stronger policy commitments, and increased media attention on closing the gender gap. I encourage all Sierra Leoneans to support the First Lady to ensure Sierra Leone becomes a more equitable society. This can only inure to the benefit of the country and its future. Social media provides a unique opportunity to connect to each other, especially to our young people. Please use your platforms and voices to promote dialogue, share experiences, and advocate for gender equality. Everyone has a role to play in bringing attention and agency to this campaign. We must all therefore join hands and work together to close the gap. I wish you a successful launch, Your Excellency Fatmata Madam. God bless Sierra Leone. God bless Africa. I thank you.
Thank you for watching and listening. There have been messages from First Ladies from the Republic of Mozambique, Ghana, and Cape Verde. Burundi, forgive me. We're moving on, and we would like to walk you through what happened before the bill got to Parliament. There's a documentary on that. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, immediately after that will be the moment for the chief campaigner of women's and girls' rights in Sierra Leone to make a statement. That will be the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Fatima Madabiyo. But first, let's walk you through. You know, if you don't tell your story, it will be difficult for someone else to tell your story. Call it what you may. Saying we are blowing our own horns, we are placing the puzzles, the pieces in the right places. But yes, it is about letting you know what happened in the background before all the fanfare and the noise in the foreground. Ladies and gentlemen, documentary of the child's marriage bill.
And hospitable people. Like many African countries, Sierra Leonean girls continue to fight against the age-old obnoxious practice of child marriage, rape, and gender-based violence. This insidious act has kept many of the country's girls in poverty and at the mercy of men. A powerful voice has risen to champion their rights and futures. The First Lady, Dr. Fatima Madabiyo, has not only become a beacon of hope and change, but an inspiration to current and future generations of young girls. Since 2018, her unwavering efforts to empower girls have brought significant transformations in countless lives. Join us as we explore the remarkable journey and a new dawn leading to the passage of the Prohibition of Child Marriage Bill 2024. With his ascension to power in 2018, President Biyo ushered a new direction that injected hope into a nation in despair, opportunities to the less privileged, and laying the foundation for the leap to a middle-income country. Side by side, the nation's mother has been a pillar of support to President Biyo.
You all know the priority of His Excellency, my husband, retired Brigadier Julius Madabiyo, is human capital development with free quality education. I thought within myself that the only way the free quality education can become more meaningful and appreciated by all is when the girls have the same opportunities as boys.
Driven by a burning passion for justice and equality, Her Excellency Dr. Fatima Madabiyo launched the Hands Off Our Girls campaign in 2018, a trailblazing moment for Sierra Leonean girls. That singular act restored the dignity of girls, coupled with her husband's free education campaign. The hopes of the nation's next generation of female leaders were restored. This initiative aimed to combat sexual violence, eradicate early child marriage, and fiercely advocate for the rights of young girls in a society where women and girls are mostly used, abused, and have little or no say in decision-making, even in issues affecting their lives. The Hands Off Our Girls campaign had a far-reaching impact. For the first time, it brought to the fore a critical issue that many shy away from. Like a commander in the theater of war, the First Lady braves it and led the nation in an unprecedented campaign that made news beyond the shores of Sierra Leone. Her efforts did not go unnoticed in the global stage, as she was highly acclaimed by her peers and other global leaders. She was touted as a reformer and a champion of girls' and women's rights. Yet, despite these efforts, a critical loophole remained within the Child Rights Act of 2012, the Consent Clause, which inadvertently allowed child marriage to persist. International data painted a harsh reality and a grim picture of high rates of infant and maternal mortality. With many child deaths during childbirths linked to the prevalence of rape and child marriage. Even with the campaign's success, Her Excellency Dr. Fatima Maravia knew more needed to be done, and she increased her zest to achieve another goal. Fatima Bio's advocacy extends far beyond Sierra Leone's borders. She has passionately addressed the Global Conference on the Elimination of Child Labor in Nairobi, Kenya, and various United Nations programs. These platforms have amplified her voice, bringing global attention to the issues facing girls in Sierra Leone.
The silence about these issues in Africa has gone on for far too long, and I am bored of just being silenced. That ecosystem where a woman should not speak up, I don't belong in that league.
Determined to close this loophole, Dr. Fatima Maravia spearheaded the drafting of the Prohibition of Child Marriage Bill 2024. She assembled a team of legal and technical experts and embarked on the rigorous processes of transforming her vision into reality. Initial consultations were held with diverse stakeholders, culminating in a high-level meeting at the Radisson Blu, which laid the foundation for this historic achievement.
I cannot continue to go back to the people if we don't fix the laws on early marriage. And I want to continue to be going back to our people for the time that I have here as the First Lady. Let me use it to serve these children and make sure they're safe. All I'm asking you to do is use me, because I am here for now and I am committed to this cause. And I want this thing to happen. And I want all the laws that will protect every child in this country to happen. And not just happen, not just be a policy on paper, but implemented. So by the time I retire, I will say I was part of that journey that changed the narrative. I am not a specialist in these things, but I know my drive to make it happen, you cannot measure it. And that's why I don't want to be scripted when I talk about these issues. I want to talk from my heart, because I believe in what I am saying, and I know with you people, no one can stop us if we take any bill that concerns a child in this country.
The First Lady's engagement with Parliament was crucial. She was able to galvanize bipartisan support. She engaged the female caucus in Parliament Room 1 and was invited to a retreat organized by the female caucus in Tokyo, an event the First Lady used to broaden lawmakers' understanding and underscore the bill's importance. The bill underwent thorough pre-legislative hearings and debates. The passion and determination of its advocates culminated in a unanimous vote in favor of the Prohibition of Child Marriage Bill 2024. On a momentous day in Sierra Leone's history, June 20th, 2024, First Lady Fatima Bio's tireless advocacy for girls reached its pinnacle. After a crucial debate, Parliament passed the permit. Hundreds witnessed the passing of this historic legislation. Civil society organizations, advocates, and state officials stood united in support of this critical step forward, protecting girls and unshackling them from a tradition that has made their lives miserable.
Despite the progress on rape due to Cancer for Our Girls campaign, child marriage seems to undo all its gains due to the fragmentation of laws and mechanisms within the existing laws, thereby continuing to be a major impediment to the campaign.
I want to say a very big thank you to Madam First Lady for bringing all of us on board. It is not the bill of the SLPP. It is not the law of the God-ruling government. It is the law that will stand the test of time. It is the law that will stand to protect our rights. It is the law that will protect all And it's the law that will make that eliminated.
We want this bill to pass as quickly because our children are our hopes. We want our children to have a better place in the future. And as mothers, we are happy that this bill is here before us. And we want to allay all fears that when it comes to our children, we are not APC, neither SLPP.
Even the opposition leader, Honorable Abdul Kadbo, acknowledged the bill's significance. He cited data from UNICEF and Save the Children, emphasizing the importance of such a law.
We should do everything within the limit of our power to ensure that this bill goes through expeditiously. We should do everything within our power to ensure that nothing stops this bill from passing in this realm of parliament. Most of you are of the opinion that it is only the First Lady that will be remembered. Interestingly, our name is not even on the bill. It's not on the bill. Interestingly, it is the parliament that passes the bill that will be remembered that, oh, the 6th parliament of the Second Republic passed the bill. So she is aiding us members of parliament to do what is correct. And let us do our best. Posterity will judge us if we don't do what is correct for our kids.
Honorable Member that the bill entitled the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024 be read the third time and passed into law. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Her Excellency Fatima Marabio's story exemplifies how dedication and determination can truly change the world. Her relentless advocacy has transformed countless lives, and the enactment of the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act is a testament to her unwavering commitment to girls' rights. As the Latin phrase goes, plura cetera ventura sunt, more is surely to come. This is just the beginning, as a brighter and more equitable future for Sierra Leonean girls is now within reach. This documentary is dedicated to the resilient girls of Sierra Leone and to the unwavering spirit of those who fight for their rights.
Thank you to the media team, Office of the First Lady. So I mentioned that if your stories are not told, not this by yourself, you would be wondering what's happening to the progress you've made and how you get others to see the progress you've made. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor this afternoon to invite the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Mrs. Fatima Marabio, to make a statement.
Thank you very much. Let's just sit down, please. Good afternoon. Your Excellency, retired Brigadier Julius Marabio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, our national champion for women and girls' rights in our country, and my dear husband. Your Excellencies, my dear sisters from Cape Verde, Namibia, and the Minister representing the First Lady of Nigeria, a Minister representing the First Lady of Liberia, and the Ambassador I believe the Burundi Ambassador is now at the airport because the First Lady of Burundi will be landing by 4:30. So the delegation of Burundi, ministers of government here present, honorable members of parliament here present, and permit me to single out my dear sister Mariam Mazombo, honorable from Bujon, who actually took the bill to parliament on my behalf and on behalf of the government of Sierra Leone. Let me acknowledge the Secretary General of our dear organization, OFLA, Dr. Naders. You're most welcome to Sierra Leone. Distinguished guests, members of the diplomatic and consular corps, our boys and girls here present, members of our security forces, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am filled with joy, but before I go to the business at hand, I craved your indulgence to publicly add to the barrage of welcome expressed in diverse ways by several people to our guests. Myself and my little office are very excited in launching this OFLAD campaign, We Are Equal in Sierra Leone, in our Sierra Leone soil. Your Excellency, my dear sister Monica Ndangos, the third First Lady of Namibia and the immediate past President of OFLAD, we owe it to you, and rest assured that we shall advance your precious legacy. The presence of the other First Ladies and their representatives from various countries across this continent for this ceremony is a testament and reassurance for us here in Sierra Leone. The We Are Equal campaign has, out of the multitude of problems affecting women and girls in Africa, has prioritized health, education, gender-based violence, and economic empowerment as the foundation upon which we shall gain equality. The main aim of the campaign is to close the gender gap on the African continent. We, the First Ladies, are simply saying to you that it is neither a charity nor a favor, but it is common sense. It is fairness and it is just. It is a just cause that we yield benefit from all of us in our continent. We are motivated to carry out this campaign because many young boys and girls on our continent still see or hear, learn and believe different. Quite often, our rights to health care, education, economic opportunities and choices are violated. How do we then want to progress, advance and build a sustainable world for the betterment of humanity when a greater proportion of the inhabitants are treated unfairly and unjustly? This is what inspired and motivated OFLAD to change course, rebrand and become more vocal, direct and purposeful. Consequently, we coined the campaign slogan, We Are Equal. You know, when someone who has been silent, quiet, timid, and afraid finally decide to speak up and come forward, then you know things has to change. This is the stage that all the First Ladies of Africa through OFLA have reached. We are not saying move, we are not saying leave, we are saying treat us with respect and treat us with dignity. Today, Sierra Leone, by launching this campaign, We Are Equal, under the theme, Abolish Child Marriage to Keep Them Learning, has joined 16 other African countries. Even though we are launching the campaign today, I want to proudly state publicly as First Lady that my country, Sierra Leone, is way ahead in the implementation of the campaign. My flagship campaign, The Hands of Our Girls, launched in 2018, focuses on preventing rape, early child marriage, teenage pregnancy,
child trafficking, mother-to-child transmission of HIV and AIDS, cervical cancer, and fistula. 5 years down the line, the campaign has contributed to legal, institutional, and structural reforms which has drastically curbed rape, discouraged early marriage, reduced teenage pregnancy, contributed to reducing transmission of HIV and AIDS, and fistula in Sierra Leone. In addition, the campaign has delivered on the accusation of 2 United Nations resolutions. One of them is access to justice for rape victims, and the other is the UN World Day, November 18, for the prevention of and healing from victims of child sexual exploitation and violence. Alongside the Hands of Our Girls campaign, the Office of the First Lady has complemented the free quality education with the supply of free sanitary pads to school children as a direct response to menstrual hygiene and its menace. The taboo, the health risk, the social exclusion, and barriers to education, we said we're not going to sit and allow that happen. By raising awareness and sensitization on menstrual hygiene and its management, the social cultural issues and school attendance for girls. At the same time, we are supporting the Ministry of Health on cervical cancer by broadening the campaign through awareness raising, awareness and resource mobilization, as well as galvanizing partnership and building capacity of relevant institutions to respond to cancer. In addition, my office has also provided scholarship that has been provided to students to pursue medical qualification in oncology and other related fields. We did not just go to the United Nations for talk's sake, but rather wanted progressive outcome that could inspire survivors and victims to prepare them for sustainable confidence and assurance. Therefore, we have started this academic year with the provision of scholarship for survivors and victims of sexual gender-based violence and others. This was an outcome commitment of the United Nations World Day commemoration in Sierra Leone on the 18th of November 2023 to survivors and victims of SGBV. The payment of tuition and other support will enable beneficiaries to pursue their tertiary education in universities, vocational and other skills development centers to expedite their healing and integration into society. It is worthy of recognition the bold, courageous and deliberate investment and proclamation of policies and laws of the visionary leadership of my husband, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio. His presidency has created the enabling environment for the advancement of women and girls more than any other leadership Sierra Leone has ever experienced. My generation and those before me bear the greatest scars of the discrimination, marginalization, and societal bias against women and girls. I survived child marriage, and my story and personal experience are my motivation and the drive to empower women and girls, witnessing some of the processes that eventually led to passing of the Abolition of Child Marriage Act in our parliament, testimonies and debates of the bill. I was overwhelmed by the outpour of the depth of magnitude child marriage has ravaged our society. It was a sister classmate and a distant relative whose mishap brought male parliamentarians to tears. One of such rare occasions when our parliamentarians were not conscious of their party color, nor the constituency they represent, but the interest and future of women and girls of our nation, and by extension, the African continent. I applaud you, my honorable parliamentarians, for making history. I am proud of you. This is what technology does. You should stick with the paper. Honorable parliamentarians, for making history. I am proud of you, and you are truly considered great sons and daughters of Sierra Leone. I call on all our compatriots and all the men to not believe that we want society to be at peace. The only sure way and the best thing to do is to stop discriminating and creating advantage situation for a certain group against and over the other. That surely will eliminate tension, eradicate conflict, and reinstate the self-esteem. We must appreciate that every life, irrespective of sex, gender, religion, ethnicity, and other categorization must be sanctified. Your Excellencies, First Lady, Your Excellencies, my elegant sisters, First Ladies of Africa, and my dear sisters, daring to challenge established and chronic menace in our society that have been entrenched in the name of culture, tradition, and norms that only subsist to perpetuate violence against women and girls is a very courageous move that we have devoted our lives to. Let's don't be afraid and apologetic about it. We are on the right side of history. As I end my speech, I want to send a special message to the generation that stands to benefit greatly from this. I want you to take advantage of this opportunity and guide it fiercely. Always remember that whatever you are and where you continue to enjoy in terms of freedoms, right, empowerment, and acceptance did not come by magic, but rather a combination of cumulative struggle from our ancestors. The only thing they ask of you and will make them rest in their graves is when they see you proving society, especially doubters and naysayers, wrong, that you are not a threat, but great and reliable partners that will make the world a better place for humanity. At this juncture, let me also take the opportunity to thank Dr. Sylvia Blyden for giving me, showing me the way. As right from the beginning, I didn't know that I can do a private member bill, but then she said, you can do a private member bill, and I thank you for that advice. Let me also say, the space that I enjoy this space because I have a husband who believes that women should be empowered. I have a husband who sees women as his equal, and he's not timid and he's not threatened. I have a husband who had always said, if you want a nation to grow, that nation should be allowed to give the 50% of its population the opportunity to also contribute to nation building, which are the women. I have a husband who believes that when you give a woman the right to also exercise their will, they will help in changing the narrative for our society. I have a husband who believes that giving back to society is the only way that a leadership can thrive. And I have a man who has given me the space and the opportunity to be able to serve you as your First Lady. So I want you all to say thank you. And I also, before I go, I want to be very grateful to certain people. I want to be grateful to the Honorable Babatunde Edwards, who was basically right at the front within the judiciary as a he for she in making sure that whatever it is that we need to do in the court of law, he was there to make it happen. I also want to say thank you to Honorable Mario Conte, the chair of the Legislative Committee, who was also there. And I want to say thank you to the drafter, Lawyer Linton, who was there. And he, whatever it is that you read from the bill is basically my thought and Lawyer Linton's expertise, because I'm not a lawyer. So he was the one who put all of that together. And I want to say thank you to the Honorable Speaker of Parliament, who did not only stand throughout the debate, but he owned the bill and he made a declaration that this bill is not the bill for Fatima Madabio, but it is the Sengapore's bill. So I want to say thank you to him and every member of Parliament who had supported this process. I want to say thank you to all the development partners who directly or indirectly have actually supported this process. Thank you to all of them. And to AfriCell for always supporting the Office of the First Lady and standing with us. It doesn't matter what we bring in front of you, you are always there. And I'm grateful when your mother is a prayer warrior. You see why nothing happens to me in Sierra Leone. I want to say thank you to my dear mother, Mrs. Brandon, and your prayer, believe you me, even the devil know you are in the house. Thank you. My sisters, I love you all so very much. I'm grateful to every one of you for being here today and supporting this cause. And my children, Amina, I love you, and thank you for sharing me with the world. May God bless you all. May God bless you all.
All right. Thank you. You may have your seats again. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, kindly welcome the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, His Excellency, retired Brigadier Dr. Julius Maada for a keynote address and the official launch of We Are Equal campaign Sierra Leone.
Let's sit down, please. Mr. Chair, Your Excellency Deborah Katisa Calvao, First Lady of Cabo Verde, Your Excellency Mrs. Monica Gangos, if I will get that one. May the soul of our brother rest in peace. Yes. The First Lady of Namibia and former President of OFLAG, Madam First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Madam Fatima Madabio, Dr. Nados Bahunu, Executive Secretary of OFLAG, distinguished representatives of First Ladies, the Honorable Leader of Government Business, ministers and other state functionaries, members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today is an exciting day. Therefore, it is my pleasure to formally and warmly welcome all of my sisters, phenomenal First Ladies, to this historic city of Freetown. I'm honored to have been personally invited to be a part of this We Are Equal campaign, the launching of this We Are Equal campaign in Sierra Leone, which is initiated by the Organization of African Ladies for Development. It is good news. Sierra Leone is more than ready to embrace this campaign. Our commitment and concerted effort in widening the political, economic, and legal space for our women and girls to express themselves and to be a part of our national development is unparalleled. So this is the right place to come when you want to see freedom for women. Freedom must come, not so? Yeah. Just now, somebody asked a cynical question. What are women going to be part of the, in case of any war, or to be? Yes. They were, not so. And I can see a handful of them already dressed in their combat fatigue. Please point the camera there and answer who was asking that question. Those are our warriors, they are women, and this is just a cross-section of them. And we have the police women too. Thank you very much. We will answer every question along the way. It will interest you to know that when I was going to vote in 2018, presidential and general elections, I took my little daughter, as risky and dangerous as it was. She is here, Amina. Most people thought this was an act of solidarity, you know, taking the whole family. But for me, it was not. It was actually a declaration of my commitment to women and girls' empowerment. Signaling a place for our women and girls at the forefront of national issues. And that is where we are today. They say, when I say or say things, I do them not so. Sometimes I act them and I do them. She helped me to cast the winning vote in 2018. Thank you, Amina. Many may wonder why I'm so excited about women's business. Yes, they are our better half. But the truth is, actually lies in my personal journey. And at the risk of sounding like an old record, I will state that again. I lost my father at a very tender age. My mother, who was not fortunate to have gone to school, my elder sister, both of blessed memory, immediately stepped in, and the rest is history, if I am who I am today. These two people supported me and encouraged me to pursue my dreams and to be the best I am, that I can be. Then I saw the heart of a woman. In these two people, I saw the heart of a woman, the strength of women, the tenacity. As president, sometimes you turn to your inner circle for strength and courage when the shenanigans of political leadership and governance come raging, as you know it does all the time. I'm always grateful to my political friends, allies, and supporters who have been with me all throughout. But in all of that, the unwavering constant, through thick and thin, is always my wife, Fatima. Like my mother and my sister did, in her I see love and strength of the women. Madam First Lady, I thank you for all the support. And on behalf of my colleagues, heads of states who are not here today, I want to thank all of you who are supporting your various husbands and country to do the many things that you are doing to develop our continent, Africa. We are proud of you and your contribution to delivering the development aspirations of your respective countries. Your work is inspirational because it requires creativity, innovation, and commitment, collaboration to identify opportunities to serve your people diligently by complementing the work of your various husbands or leaders. Gone are those days when first ladies were mere accessories. These are vestiges of the past that we are eager to discard in the new Africa that we are finding. It signifies missed opportunities to leverage such a powerful platform that they have to extend the reach of government. This generation of First Ladies have set a standard of excellence and have positioned their offices to drive policy, shape national discourse, and champion the causes of vulnerable, especially our women and children in Africa who are seeking equity and equality. Being surrounded by women of your caliber and strength is one that we are sure of a future that is brighter for our people. You are always assured also of a nudge in the right direction and to gain better insights of the plight of constituencies that lack agency. Sometimes we say women are different. Yes, they are different from us. They think differently and do a lot of things they do differently too. But diversity is a source of richness, and that is what we have to accept. I have no doubt that the campaign will further enhance the ability of our girls and women to be part of nation building and global development. You know, it was taboo to talk about menstruation. Not even parents, except for maybe mothers who took time and did so. But today, we have opened the debate about that when we said the girls should have free sanitary pads. It's a biological event, occasions to happen at a particular point in the girl's life. So why do we leave them alone to put up with the inconveniences and sometimes not even knowing what they are doing? Today, we have been nudged by our lady from Nigeria who said, if you see something, we are very good at saying things and not saying them here. So, as we pass this beautiful bill into law, she was saying maybe 80% has been done. That is not it. I think only 50% has been done. The actual 50% needs to be done by you. We, the people of Sierra Leone, we have to implement this. Government is not in every home. Government is not in every institution. Don't give off the hands of your children for dowry money, which will last you 2 or 3 weeks. And your child will go without education for the rest of her life. It will be interesting to know that since we gave free education, the girls are doing better in all transition exams. In fact, for the first time in the 200 years history of the Fulbe College, we have more women doing engineering because of our STEM policy. So giving the opportunity and not giving their hands in marriage to elderly people or whosoever it is, we give an opportunity to them to be who they want to be and become productive citizens for national development. I need capable hands. We need capable hands to develop our country. Development is a very technical issue, and many paradigms have been devised. But until and unless we can technically improve ourselves to capably, as a nation, take on our own development programs, we will never rely on another nation. Don't ever rely on another nation to develop your nation. So, women are more than 50% of our population, and that is my simple argument. If you are really serious about developing your nation, you cannot put more than 50% of your population in the kitchen, lock them in there, and say you are serious about development. That is lip service to development. When I assumed leadership of our beloved nation in 2018, I saw an opportunity, therefore, to widen the space, create the enabling environment, allocate needed resources, and promulgate and amend the necessary laws to empower our women and girls. I did not waste time. My government has launched and implemented the most radically progressive and impactful initiatives for the advancement of women and girls. Sierra Leone today is amongst the top most performers on gender equality and women's empowerment. The recent World Bank report on women, business, and law scored Sierra Leone 92.5 100. This is significantly higher than the regional score of 74 in sub-Saharan Africa. However, it's not a surprise that we are amongst the best performers because of our reform agenda to drive gender equality was planned, intentional, and deliberate. This is because we believe that sustainable economic growth in Sierra Leone can only happen if we took our women folk along. For the benefit of our visitors, I want to mention a few of the interventions of my administration that have changed the narratives for our women and girls in Sierra Leone. At the base of our policy initiative was the free quality education that was launched in 2018. In addition to making education available to all, this initiative also comprised a tuition-free component from primary to university for girls to study science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM, to ensure that girls do not need to be absent from school to attend to natural period cycles. With the support of the First Lady, the Free Sanitary Pad campaign for all school-going girls, with myself and my wife as chief campaigners, we started that too. In 2018, we declared a state of emergency on rape to give momentum to the Hands Off Our Girls campaign, which she had just launched. This was a campaign meant to criminalize and punish sexual violation of girls. We have also established the Sexual Offences and Murder Court, which is a specialized division of the High Court of Sierra Leone to expedite sexual and gender-based matters. In 2019, we amended the Sexual Offences Act of 2012 and introduced the radical inclusion of pregnant girls in normal school curriculum, which removed double victimization of pregnant girls and allowed them to pursue their dreams. I listened to my sister from Nigeria. They have a beautiful case. We are in a lot of other, they have created special schools for them, and with a lot of emphasis on vocational and technical training. I think that is a model that we also try to learn from and add to what we have. My administration now has a standalone Gender and Children's Affairs Ministry separated from the Ministry of Social Welfare to handle the affairs of women and children. With the passing of the landmark law, the Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act in 2022, women have been accorded 30% in all aspects of governance, including the 30% allocation of cabinet positions and parliamentary seats. I'm very proud to say that my appointment of cabinet ministers is in strict compliance with this provision. It's not just a political statement, as many politicians we do. When we talk, we do. The abolition of the Child Marriage Act of 2024, which came just before the first anniversary of my second term, is the catalyst for the launch of the We Are Equal campaign in Sierra Leone, which resonates so well with the theme of the campaign, abolish child marriage, to keep them learning. I'm just surprised that you didn't bring a lot of young girls today. They are the future beneficiaries. Most of us sit there, they are either perpetrators or victims. Only the critics can laugh so loud. Hands off our girls. Besides the bill, we still have hands off our girls also. Thank you. At the international stage, my government co-piloted the adoption of 2 United Nations resolutions that have been alluded to by several speakers before me. One was the access to justice for rape victims, and the UN War Day, that is November 18, for the prevention of and healing from child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence. All of these symbolize a significant step forward, promoting equality and inclusivity in our nation and in the world at large, which further resonates with the campaign theme, the campaign, We Are Equal. It seems obvious that our parliamentarians, are you here? Great people, you did a great job, unanimously. Maybe APC MP there. Where is Kabul? Oh, okay. My APC MPs are not, most of them are not here. I would have loved them to be here because they did a great job. On that day, the nation was first. This is a significant step towards promoting equality and inclusivity in our nation and the world. It seems obvious that our parliamentarians had the We Are Equal campaign in their mind when they unanimously passed into law the abolition of child marriage bill. Thank you for such a show of patriotism. The bill was initiated by a private member and supported by the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to publicly acknowledge and pay special tribute to this generation of African First Ladies who are doing a game-changing job in their countries. Please give them a big hand of applause. You, our First Ladies, are at the forefront of fights that are changing the course of history and giving voice to over half of our population who have been downtrodden, voiceless, and disempowered for far too long. You are leading a change. Again, we are very wonderful. To raise the profile of women in honor of who raised me, my daughter. That single ballot was so heavy, I had to hold her hand to drop it in, and that was the winning ballot. She's here to witness this landmark bill that is an act of parliament. This is an accomplishment. Seminar transformation of Syria. Determining the future and the phenomenon by eliminating all of discrimination, violence, and exclusion, and other vices against our own women and girls. At this juncture, I have the singular honor to launch the Organization of African First Ladies for Development. We are Equal campaign in Sierra Leone.
Thank you, His Excellency the President, Brigadier Julius Maada Bio. We have one more symbolic action to take before we get the President's assent to the bill. And to do that, I would like to invite the Acting Clerk of Parliament for the citation, Mr. Gilbert Bosco Nabe. Please come forward. Mr. Gilbert Bosco Nabe is going to do the citation before we get the President to officially give his assent to the bill, which would be quite symbolic this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome me.
Please
permit me to stand on existing protocols already established to read out the citation of what has been described as a landmark legislation in the history of Sierra Leone. The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024, being an act to prohibit child marriage, to provide protection for victims of child marriage, and to provide for other related matters, passed in Parliament of Sierra Leone this 20th day of June in the year of our Lord 2024. This printed impression has been carefully compared by me with the bill which has passed Parliament and found by me to be a true and correct printed copy of the said bill, as signed by me, Gilbert Bosco Nabe, the acting clerk of the House of Parliament.
Thank you, Mr. Nabe. His Excellency, we kindly ask that you, and he's going to be accompanied by the First Ladies, visiting and other representatives from